Hey everyone, so it's officially summertime, and for a lot of us that means it's bathing suit season, which can be a pretty nerve-wracking time for anyone, but especially for us jpouchers or ostomates. Just because for some of us it can be the first time that we're showing off our scars or ostomies, and so for that reason I thought I would finally show you guys my scar. But before I do, I thought I'd tell you a little bit about it because I think it's a little bit different than the other jpouch scars that I've seen. So first things first, I had my first surgery done through a single incision. So basically what that meant was my doctors made a small incision right at the spot where they were going to put the stoma, and so they did everything through that small incision laparoscopically, and then they just made that the stoma. And so after my first surgery, I didn't have any scars. But my second surgery was also allegedly done laparoscopically. And I say allegedly just because there's a tiny bit of debate, just because I consulted another GI surgeon afterwards who insisted that this surgery can't be done laparoscopically, and that's why my incision is a bit larger than your typical laparoscopic incision. But I don't know. And it's definitely my incision is not, it wasn't open surgery because, otherwise I would have, the long vertical scar that runs along your stomach. But my incision is, or my scar is just right at the location of my stoma, and it's just a little bit bigger than the size of my stoma was. But my scar is also a bit different as well, because it's what's called a keloid, and that basically just means it's an overgrowth of scar tissue, and it tends to be a little bit raised above the skin and ranges from red to pink in color, and it's a little bit shiny, and it has a tendency to be itchy. And since it is an overgrowth of scar tissue, there's a tendency for the scar to extend beyond the typical incision site, and that overgrowth of scar can occur, anytime after surgery. It doesn't have to appear right after. And so for me, I noticed a few weeks after my surgery that I started to develop a bit of a scar above and below my incision. And, my stoma nurse said, oh, that was always there. They had to cut there so they could see. But it wasn't until I saw my hematologist that she confirmed that it was actually keloid, and that was why it was, extending beyond my incision. And as far as treatments go, there aren't really too many. The keloid does not really resolve on its own, meaning it doesn't heal in the same way that a typical scar would. But there are, some ways you can try and combat that. One way is through steroid injections right into the scar. There's also laser treatment and things like that. But, it's really more of a cosmetic issue. It's not really usually a life-threatening issue or anything. So I'm not really doing anything about that right now. But I am a little bit worried just because if you get one keloid, there's a tendency that you might be prone to keloids in the future, and I'm pretty sure this won't be my last surgery, so I'm sort of worried that, more keloids might develop. And also because keloids sound a bit familiar to something I talked about in a previous video, which is desmoids. And this is a connection I made myself. My doctors didn't bring this up to me, and after doing a bit of research on this, I did see that there was a connection between the two, in that they do share some histological origins, in that they both have, an overgrowth of scar tissue, and, it's basically like the fibroblasts are proliferating at a abnormal rate, which means that you have a bunch of excess collagen in both desmoids and keloids. So I'm hoping that because I'm prone to keloids doesn't mean that I'm prone to desmoids, but I guess only time will tell, and again, I'm not a medical doctor, so this is just something that I researched on my own, and feel free to check it out yourself. But anyway, that's the backstory of my scar, and now I'm going to show you what it looks like, so stay tuned.
Easy as the river as it flows into the sea, and I like it.
So I just wanted to add in a note about trying not to let your scar limit what you do this summer. It's summertime. You're supposed to be out there having fun, and your scars shouldn't get in the way of it. I guarantee you, if you're not, excessively noticing your scar, other people won't be either. I've been out several times in a bathing suit this season, and I haven't seen anyone staring or anything, and if they do, so what? I don't care. I'm there to have fun. So, yes, I hope you guys are all having an awesome bathing suit season.